Hey, everybody, it's the coach, and this is Monday Night Football on EA Sports. We are moments away from what should be an excellent matchup between the Minnesota Vikings and the New York Giants. I'll be back at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from Sunday's action. But for now, it's Monday Night Football. And to call the action, here are Brandon God and Charles Davis.
And thank you, Coach. We are across the Hudson from Midtown Manhattan at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Minnesota Vikings and the New York Giants. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you take a look at this Giants ball club. They coming off their very first loss of the year, suffered a week ago.
Yeah, it will not be a perfect season, but I'm interested to see how they bounce back now that they know that chasing the 1972 Dolphins is out the window.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Vikings, they come in with some fresh legs as they got the week off last week thanks to the early season bye.
And usually you hope your bye comes a little bit later in the year, but when you get a chance to get fresh legs back, you take that time and you run with it.
So here's the Viking offense making their way out. Leading them out is their 6'2 quarterback who was a fourth-round pick back in 2012, Kirk Cousins.
And coming off of an early season open week. And in this situation, what he told us when we sat down with him was he spent a lot of time working on fundamentals, kind of getting back to basics during that time, as opposed to having to worry about healing up or resting up. It was too early in the season. Get back to the basics, get his game going again.
After the play, not a good sign. Dalvin Cook staying on the ground. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Now a carry here for Orleans Darkwa. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. It leaves them with 3rd and just a yard. And the offensive starters for the Vikings.
For a lot of people, there are pros and cons to playing close to home in the NFL. But for Adam Thielen, it's nothing but pros. Grew up not too far from the Twin Cities, loves being a Viking, and is a really dependable third down receiver.
On the run, Darkwa. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. Defense had a chance to get off the field here on the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important third down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
Time to look at the defensive starters for the New York Giants. They come into this one rounding out the top 10 in the 10 spot against the run.
This is a unit that understands what needs to be done to stop the run. And they're a team that goes out and executes as well. Yeah, it's the mantra, stop it, but then going out and getting it done. 2 different things. They combine them.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it was real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Throwing is Cousins. And the giant rush gets home as down he goes. Cliff Averill. He's the one that gets him down. It'll be a loss of 5, and it'll bring up 4th down.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. And they'll be led out by their quarterback, the very, very talented Andrew Luck.
Okay, I thought there was something to build on in last week's game by his performance. I thought he played fairly well overall. The numbers won't knock your socks off. 2 touchdown passes and an interception. The bottom line, though, they lost.
Yeah.
How does he eliminate that one interception, continue to take care of the ball, and maybe increase the number of times he puts the ball in the end zone with a receiver?
And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, and what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
To throw on second down is Locke. And bringing it in right side here, Beckham. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. A very solid gain of 27. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary. Figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And, Charles, part of the reason they lost last week, they didn't have a single sack. Well, they changed that quickly.
But did they ever? And it was something they talked about with us extensively. They needed to get pressure. How were they going to get to the quarterback? Obviously, they schemed themselves into a great play, didn't they?
Third and long. It's Locke. Going up top. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is.
There goes Eric Decker, the 20. Touchdown, Vikings. Eric Decker, his 6th touchdown of the season, and the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And here comes the Giants offense back out onto the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, do you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
Here's Luck now on 2nd down. It's caught. Beckham. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double-team him somehow.
Under pressure, and down he goes. Luck is sacked. Everson Griffin in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football.
And he's going to go down again. Anthony Barr in there to drop him, and sacks on first and second downs are going to lead to a 3rd and long.
If you rank one from the bottom in statistics, that's usually not good in this league. And this team, one from the bottom in sacks, but somehow they've got 3 in this game. What's going on?
I know, they're 31 of 32. They better be careful, or they're going to be top 30 in the league. To Barkley on the check down. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
But they face a 2nd and long to start things out. To throw, Cousins. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Throwing, Cousins. And this is going to be incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Here now, Johnny Townsend, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Fielded at the 43. It's a net of 40 there. Punt of 48 and a return of 8. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. New York set to take the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all. And let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice. So they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
On 2nd down, here's Barkley. He'll get about 4 here, down to the 43-yard line.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Here's Locke. And Ingram holds it in. And he's going to get this inside the 30. His first catch, good for 14 there and a 1st down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide it. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a 1st down.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot.
Look, the 1st down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, they went against the tendency and ran it, and boy, the reward was there. A big, big pickup, and guess what? It's now 3rd and very short in order to try and pick up a 1st down.
It would be a very makeable field goal try from here, but instead they're going to go for it. They snap it to Locke. He finds Beckham complete. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Odell Beckham hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Giants are an extra point away from tying up this football game. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it was finished off by a touchdown by the New York Giants. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And it'll be a 2nd and long. Second down, Cousins. Caught on the right side by Treadwell. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. The Vikings on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 14. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Right side, there's Decker. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down. Here now, Johnny Townsend, as he's on to punt for Minnesota. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And this will be taken at the 13. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Odell Beckham now marching back onto the field. It's really been a blistering start to the season for him so far. He's on pace to blow past 1,000 yards. The good receivers, it's interesting, though. You put extra coverage on them, they probably view that as a challenge. All right, I'm going to go after this. You put one guy on them, then they feel disrespected, and they want it to. So how do you cover it?
You're exactly right. That's an insult, right? Especially the year that he's having. But I just have to go ahead and I'm not going to insult.
And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Giants. Odell Beckham with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Giants strike quickly here for 6 points. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the 2nd quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Rosas now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win 2nd down. And guess what?
And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
On 2nd down, Cook. Always got some breathing room. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to East Rutherford. But first, this timeout. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Cousins to throw it. He'll try to set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. A first down throw for Cousins. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. The Vikings in the hurry up. They're hustling up to the line. Play fake. Cousins. They call that a loss of 6 yards. And it's third down now. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. Handoff comes to Cook. Call it a gain of 4, but not enough. The punt team going to need to be summoned here on fourth down. And now the Giants will stop play as they take a timeout defensively. As the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Here now, Johnny Townsend. He's been terrific so far. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. Here now, time to discuss Odell Beckham Jr. making his presence felt early in this one. First half, already over the century mark.
How about the yards per completion, too? That's a pretty darn good number there. Number of catches, but his shredding defense is getting big yardage with each and every one of them.
Dancing to his left. And he slings one that's incomplete. He was looking for Evan Ingram, the tight end. That'll bring up second down. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
The Giants on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is going to be 3rd and 13. From the gun, here's Luck. He dumps it off to Barkley. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
And I know you can't really see it, but that play spells frustration with a capital F for the guys on defense. They covered everyone else, end up going to the running back out of the backfield, and he picks up a back-breaking first down.
They go play action here on first down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may force them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. Now a second down throw for Cousins. Over the middle here to Rudolph. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. Cousins to his tight end Rudolph for a Viking first down. On first and 10, Cousins to Decker over the middle. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. This from 42 yards out. The kick by Tavecchio is good. The second half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Week 7, second half. Let's do it. Tavecchio now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And up past the 35, a very good return, but a penalty down. That may negate all the good work.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
So that will push him back.
First down.
And now we know why I had a little extra space to run, don't we? An illegal block in the back, that penalty will move them back.
On first down, Luck. Caught left side, it's Beckham. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one goes for 24 yards. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him? Double and triple, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
He finds his target, Beckham. And he'll get it down here to the 43. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or...
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Over the middle, he's got his tight end, Ingram. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Here's a give to Barkley. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. The Giants on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 11. Luck now to throw. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And he's got his man, Beckham. Touchdown, Giants. That's 3 touchdown passes now for Andrew Luck. And the Giants add on to their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
Rosas now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. But sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. 8 yards on the run there, and that leaves him with 3rd and just a couple.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Wide open receiver complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. And a nice gain of 21 yards. First down, here's the run with Cook. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Cousins now on second down. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Decker. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing. And they got it done.
And that is incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this third down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short, no good, and this score will stay right where it is.
I tell you, it's not easy kicking field goals in the best of conditions. You add in a downpour like we're in right now, it makes it that much harder. And sure enough, they can't convert here.
Good field position to start the drive after the missed field goal. Here's first down from the 42. They'll try and get this run game going. This is Barkley. He had a great move, but he'll still be stopped shy of midfield. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
He's going to rifle one deep left side. This is caught inside the 15. And mark him down all the way inside the Minnesota 10. It's a big-time play there for the G-Man. 43 yards.
As far as I'm concerned, Andrew Luck can do it all. I mean, he's an underrated runner, toughness in the pocket, strong and stout. But let's face it, the money, that comes from his arm.
And smart. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Saquon Barkley with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Giants are able to grow their lead. Sometimes a group that gets overlooked, certainly, the offensive line. Right there, they really helped with that score.
Didn't they tell us in our meeting that when we score touchdowns running the ball, that means the offensive line actually scored first by moving people back beyond the end zone? We saw evidence of that on that play.
Rosas now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And the Vikings now heading onto the field. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. Well, let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out? Partney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go, and let's see who's faster.
Only a gain of a yard there, but it indeed gets them a new set of downs.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Cousins. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. At 5 yards on the play there, the drive will continue. It's the Vikings in possession of the football, but they need some points. They're trailing here to start the 4th. First down. Here's Cousins. And the giant rush gets home as down he goes.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Here's Cousins. Over the middle, he's got Treadwell. Touchdown, Vikings! Laquan Treadwell, his first touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are able to close the gap just a bit.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
Foul.
A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good, and that will get them one closer. Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Odell Beckham now marching back onto the field. This defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way you could get a trade for him? Bring him over to our team so we don't have to cover him anymore? Because he is really having a heck of a ball game, isn't he?
Boy, he is. I don't know that a mid-game trade's going to happen, but good thought. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Where Brandon Pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back at New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. A first down carry for Barkley, and he'll go down right around the 47 this time. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards, and that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. Well, sometimes when you try to defend OBJ, you're going to get a PI call.
You might get a PI call at just about any point during his route. And I think a lot of teams have taken the whole philosophy of, hey, just go ahead and do what you have to do and hope eventually they'll quit calling it. But not in this case. They dropped the flag for the pass interference.
And he's going to bull his way into the end zone for a Giants touchdown. Saquon Barkley, his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Giants add on to their lead. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. The bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Rosas now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. And now out comes Minnesota. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, here, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And this one to Treadwell, complete. That throw good for 4. It's second down. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
Throwing, Cousins. He lost 2 there, and it's third down. The Vikings on third down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 9. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Desperation time. Cousins on 4th down. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. Mike Zimmer got to be unhappy with how that turned out. And the Giants are going to take over in great field position. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. And looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
Give the tackle there to Daniil Hunter.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And he's got his man. Beckham. Touchdown, Giants. Odell Beckham from 13 yards out. And the Giants are able to grow their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Rosas now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey.
And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. Olivier Vernon in there to drop him the 7th time tonight. He's gone down. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
Call it a 6-yard gain. Still plenty of work to do coming up. 3rd and 14.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Now Cousins. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Throwing now, Luck. He's going to loft one deep left side here. So they took a shot on 1st down but couldn't connect. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. A handoff to Barkley. And now running right through it. And this may be a carbon copy as he'll again be stopped right at the line of scrimmage.
Well, he didn't make headway on that one, but he's had plenty of carries all night long. I just wonder if maybe he's a little bit tired from toting the rock that much.
Throwing on 3rd down, Luck. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It's a peachy ass ducking this
Well,
breath.
Charles, the forecast called
What
for
you mean?
rain throughout the entire game.
Put
And
himself
we
on
got
auto,
rain
man.
throughout the
Oh,
entire
he
game.
played Carlos and
These
then
two
go
teams,
out.
they had fun
Oh.
getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you
You
trust
know,
the
I don't
forecast ahead of
ask
time? Are you one of those guys
I'm a little
that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's try.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice.